To Altalite, a game about a magical user being kidnapped by a thief. Yep, that's the description of this game when I downloaded it. It didn't provide any further details. Just about a magic user getting kidnapped. Right, the jagged inner shape of the valley begins to take form as Fern reaches the peak of the hill. Last year's trip to this small mining town had fared far better. In the 2 days of travel, he hadn't come across a single other person. Unkept grass, missing guards, and a complete lack of pop-up shops along the road. The whole place felt lifeless. Given the circumstances, this was not unexpected, but Fern's feeling of disappointment persisted. He descends along the main road, passing stone houses and shops, seeing several despondent faces as he walks. This place was by no means a ghost town. People still went about their day, but it lacked the life it once had. This certainly is cheery. Looks like it's spread to the more remote corners of the area. Business had been affected since last year's visit. Some of the stores that were struggling were now completely boarded up. They were now completely boarded up. Reaching an apothecary, Fern is greeted by a closed sign, no hint of when that might change. Peeking through the window shows nothing but bare hardwood floors and dust. He tries a second solution, similar deal. This one at least had furniture in it. After pacing around for a while, he admits defeat. Well, that's disappointing. Would the mine be worth checking? And I doubt they let the public walk in there freely. He stands there for a moment, contemplating how to avoid the entire trip being in vain. The scenery was nice, but his supplies were running low. He couldn't afford returning with nothing to show for it. It's a stretch, but he glances around, making sure to avoid view of any individual passing by. Surely there'll be something in the back. He slithers around the side of the building and into a back alley, searching for any kind of discarded stock. He finds a promising stack of boxes at the rear. I'd have preferred fresh material to work with, but dried is better than nothing. He rifles through but finds little. Vile pieces lay broken at the bottom, along with scraps of paper and hunks of wood. Any remaining trace of herb or perishable items are beyond usability. Dejected, he exits the heap, turning back into the alley. I'll try asking around tomorrow. Hopefully I can find a better place to stay. As he returns to the main street, he hears a pair of footsteps approaching his position. Fern begins to turn, ready to explain he hadn't taken anything. Before he's able, he feels something hit the back of his head hard. And he died. He stumbles to the ground, his vision turning black. Oh, look! We're now a victim! Fern wakes up on an unfamiliar floor. And a severe brain damage. The room is cold and damp. A musty smell lingers in the air. A storage room, though difficult to judge the exact size from this current angle. This is new. Fern's first attempts to move are hampered by the rope around his torso. His vision is hazy. The back of his head aches at the slightest of movement. With some effort, the pain begins to vanish as a soft glow permeates underneath his clothes. He considers his options, opting to take things slow and taking proper note of his surroundings. The items on the cluttered shelves give few clues. A pile of bound books, scraps of cloth, and a few candles. A stack of cups nestled in one of the corner shelves. Common items you'd see just about anywhere. Too quiet to be a tavern. Maybe an inn? I guess it depends on the time of day and how long I was out for. First time something like this has happened. Maybe this could be what makes the trip worthwhile. Let's see where this leads. Hopefully somewhere interesting. He leans against the box, making a small noise as he makes contact with the wood. Something on the other side of the room stirs. Hey Mage, you awake yet? And his name is Aska. Ah, you must be the one responsible for this double knot I'm having trouble with. In front of him stands an elf boy with a sour expression. Fern barely lifts an eyebrow at the sight of his captor, prompting the boy to kick the shelf next to him in an attempt at intimidation. It doesn't work. Cure my sister. Excuse me? You heard me. I know a mage when I see one. You can do magic, right? My sister's sick and I want you to do something about that. We've been trying to get in contact with the Magic Users Guild for months. The rot's getting so bad it's stopping Sienna from sleeping and... Oh, I'm not someone who can do healing magic, sorry. And even if you... And how are we supposed to do magic being tied up? So if you'd kindly drop me back off from where you picked me up, I'd appreciate... Wait, no healing at all? Isn't that what you people do? Is kidnapping all that you do? I guess I'm just ignorant on the subject. Care to enlighten me with an example or get in contact with one of your guild buddies? No, can do, sorry. Even if I could do something, I can't do it with my hands behind my back. Not that I feel like offering my services to someone with this little sense for hospitality. Untie me, maybe then we can talk. The boy's attention diverts from Fern as the door at the top of the stone stairs creaks open. Eska, are you down here? Fern watches her, noticing a slight limp in her walk. Hey, look. That's her sister. His rotting sister. And she looks completely fine to me. Does she look rotting to you? Wow, so that's what all the noise was. Am I interrupting something? Yeah. Did I wake you up? Sorry. It's okay, I wasn't asleep. Eska turns back to Fern. If you can't do anything, there's no point continuing this conversation. Oh, don't want to hear me out at all? Maybe I could be useful. If you can't heal, I don't care. Maybe some of my buddies back at the guild can. But if you don't care, then fine. Let me go then. I'll just be on my way. I'll just take what's on you as compensation for wasting my time. Isn't that entirely your fault? For just kidnapping a random mage here? Eska gestures to the girl, who begins rifling through Fern's pockets. Well, it's not like I can stop you. Sure, take whatever you like. You're pretty cooperative for someone getting robbed. Well, I have to be. What choice do I have? I just don't think it's worth the hassle. You have a lot of weird stuff in here. Cooking equipment, paint brushes, empty jars. Are you an artist or something? I like to consider myself one if I'm being generous. We can't sell those. I'm just gonna take the money and the jewelry. Then this necklace is pretty. Sure, help yourself. Oh, but let me keep the notebook. I doubt anyone buy that. Sure, just looks like a bunch of scribbles to me. If this is your attempt at drawing, it kinda sucks. Hey! I'm still practicing, man. Everybody's gotta start somewhere. How dare you? Dumb hoe. No wonder you got sick. I'm surprised. No resistance at all. Not even a little bit of a struggle. Are you after a fight? It's not like I can begrudge you. I've done far worse. Well, nice to know I'm not robbing a saint. Something tells me that in your eyes, being a magic user disqualifies me from that category. Am I correct? You're welcome to be the first to change my mind. No chance of you learning healing magic real quick for me. I'll even think about giving you your stuff back. Okay. Sorry, I just don't have the knack for it. I think that's about everything. Thanks. Take it upstairs, will you? I'm just about finished talking down here. Sure thing. Oh shit, I accidentally clicked go back. We're done, are we? Mind untying me then? And I'll see myself out. The boy takes a swift kick at one of the shelves before dragging his heels over to untie Fern. What's this? You're just letting me go? You almost sound insulted. This town has weird ideas about kidnapping. No dragging me out in the middle of the nowhere with a blindfold on to keep your base a secret? Is that what you want? As long as you're not too rough, I don't mind. Look, I just don't think letting your victims know where you operate from is a smart move if you want to keep doing this for the long term. Why are you lecturing a thief on how to run a robbing agency, a robbing business, burglary business? Why are you doing that? Goddamn. What happens if I tattle? I'm not worried. Good luck finding someone who'll care. I would refrain from messing with magic users in the future though. I'm rather lenient compared to my peers. Stop wasting my time. Get out. Fine, fine. Don't think about trying any funny business on the way out. I wouldn't dream of it. Well, I'll see you around, I suppose. I'd really prefer if we didn't. The basement door opens up into a wide space with stained glass windows. A church? Wasn't expecting that. Oh well, won't ruin my day. The boy's sisters wave from across the pew she's perched in. What's a pew? Oh bro, let you go. I already hid what I didn't hand Eska. Sorry, I'm not giving anything back. Don't worry. You got nothing. You better enjoy that money while you still can, cause that disease about to kill you. Times are tough right now, I understand. This is probably the most hospitable pair of thieves that have ever been towards me. Not the first time you've been robbed. It might have happened once or twice before. Is it a vibe I'm giving off? The coat looks pretty nice, though I think it might have more to do with those marks on your hands. Those look like they cost a bit to have done, especially with the rules surrounding that kind of magic now. You ever thought about investing in a pair of gloves? Well, I won't tell if you won't. There's no one here to tell, same way there's no doctors around. You can go now. I already told you we're not giving you your stuff back, so there's no point in trying to talk to me. I know, that's not why I'm bothering you. Fern pulls up a map and a piece of paper from his back pocket, one of the few items he still has on him. I don't suppose you could tell me which direction your brother dragged me in from? And if there's any place to get anything on this list. She points to a hill north of where he last was. What kind of weirdo list is this? I guess you could try around there, but it's a stretch. Thanks for the help and good luck. Tell your brother to watch his temper for me, will you? Just go! Just leave! What do you mean see you around? No point in continue conversation. Just go. Packing the rope away and rifling through the items his sister collected, Eska couldn't help but be confused at how that exchange played out. What the hell was that guy's deal? He sorts out what might be sold, but most of it looked like eccentric junk. This is about it. I guess it'll have to do. He gives up and heads upstairs. Hey Sienna, I think I can sell some of what that guy had, so later on Sienna? Glancing around the main room, he doesn't see his sister. He checks the small side room and still nothing. Haha! We perform voodoo magic. Some creepy voodoo magic and got her, and she's now gone. Concerned, he walks up and down the aisles, hoping to spot her. Hey sis? Sienna, are you okay? Collapsed on the floor lay Eska's sister, breathing but unmoving. He shakes her shoulders, but nothing he tries succeeds in waking her up. A few days later. Great. He's gonna accuse me of doing something accuse Fern of doing something, isn't it? Like, are we playing Fern? Or are we just, the fourth wall? Fern wakes up to the same place, only darker. No gentle come to, this time instead being shaken awake by the same boy as before. I've been looking everywhere for you. Oh, this is my first time having a fan. I'm sorry, I'm a little underprepared. My sister, what did you do to her? Huh? I didn't do anything. I checked into the inn over on the other side of town and have been looking around for supplies ever since. I was planning to leave today if you hadn't rudely intervened. Sienna has been unconscious since you left. Is that all? Doesn't she have trouble sleeping? Sounds like a solution to me. I'm not messing around this time. Fix her! I told you, man, I got no healing magic. The hell you want me to do? Eska flicks a small pocket knife and holds it to Fern's chin. Ooh, you are upset, huh? Fix my sister or I'll see if ending your life undoes whatever curse you put on her. And what if it doesn't? What then? You just ended the guy capable of ending the curse. Well, according to your head, I'm the one that is capable of performing and ending the curse. And if that doesn't happen, boom, haha, your sister cursed forever. You're very demanding, you know. Have you tried a nicer approach? There's a glow from underneath Fern's clothes. The bindings surrounding him undo themselves and he stands up, ignoring Eska's threat. He moves fast, grabbing Eska's wrist and yanking the blade out of it. He tucks the knife into his back pocket. That's better. As you were saying? Eska takes a second to process what just happened. Nice trick. I don't care how strong you are. Undo whatever curse you put on my sister or else. Can I have my things back? No. Really? Why not? Already sold a lot of it. And the money you made? Spent. Don't look at me like that. It all went on food and medicine. Well, that's unfortunate. You have a debt to pay back before I even consider helping. You don't look too pleased about that, but it's your choice. It seems your sister will remain in the state she's in until I decide to help her. Unless you can figure out something yourself. Well, the power dynamics shifted a little, hasn't it? Don't worry, I'm not unreasonable. I do have conditions for helping though. I need a roof over my head. Is this church yours? I'd assume not, based on what I know of your current financial predicament. But it sure does look roomy. I'd prefer to keep a low profile too, so no mentioning to anyone I'm here. I'll feed myself, don't worry about that. Wait, how are you going to feed yourself? Your sister didn't take all my money. I'm no spring chicken when it comes to travel. I'm surprised you don't look like the kind of person who would be that careful. Nothing wrong with people underestimating you. That's why I have enough to eat. Anyways, I'm assuming those conditions work for you. I don't know about you sticking around. Think of it this way. If I'm nearby, I can monitor your sister's condition. She better be okay. I swear You have my word. Not that you care about that, I'm sure. But I have nothing against her. After all, she's not the one responsible for my near concussion. Twice now, too. But it's nice to see she has a good big brother at least. Taking better note of the environment around him, Fern sees Eska has moved his sister to a bed. Judging by the light outside, it was now later than he would have liked. Well, I'm going to bed. That was the plan of making my way back to the inn if you hadn't gotten in the way of that. If I'm sticking around, tomorrow we can head out and collect the supplies I couldn't get a hold of. Where am I sleeping? Where is the comfiest? We only have 2 beds. Oh, that's a shame. Where are you sleeping then? The pews upstairs? No way am I leaving a stranger in a room with my unconscious sister. I guess that hadn't crossed my mind. I'm not interested in her if that helps, for several reasons. I'm sure that does little to persuade I won't try anything, however. I'm guessing moving her upstairs is out of the question. Eska's silence confirms that guess. What a cold glare. If you expect me to sleep on the hard pews, you're a pretty cruel host. Eska moves across the room to gather the blankets from the spare bed. He tosses the single flat pillow at Fern, who catches it with both hands. Pews for both of us then. You're lucky it's not that cold. I'm not sharing a bed with someone who I don't trust. Hey, you're the one that knocked us out and then dragged us here, tied up. Who the hell are you? Who are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? Trust. Fern shrugs. Have it your way. Before heading upstairs, Eska checks on his sister, pulling up the blankets up over her body. Sorry sis, I'll get this fixed quick, I promise. The two of them leave Sienna and set up their bed along one of the back pews, taking opposite sides. The wood is hard and only so wide. Moonlight streams through the murky stained glass. Eska was correct. Despite the thin black blankets, it's not too cold. You can keep the pillow. My back's worked as a headrest plenty of times before. He takes the pillow and props it up against the pew's armrest. Suit yourself. I won't say no more to back support. I won't say no to more back support. Sorry, what was that glowing that happened earlier? You want me to give away all my secrets? Just curious, something like that seems useful. How'd you do it? Is there a limit to it? I don't think it's a good idea to tell you if I have any weaknesses while our relationship's so strained, right? What do you want from me? I just think it's cool. Well, maybe if you butter me up some more, I might share a bit more about it, but not before. Fern fires back with a question of his own. So why is a pair of thieves living in the basement of a church? I'd figure it'd be an interesting bedtime story. It's not anything exciting. The guy who owns the building is a family friend. You already know our financial situation. Fill in the rest yourself. You don't strike me as the devoted type. We're just looking after the building until he returns. He's training up to deal with the Mage's rod, so the place is empty in the meantime. And when he comes back, what are your plans after that? The question elicits a contortion of Eska's face. He takes a second to calm himself. Haven't worked that part out yet. Ah. The conversation stops dead in its tracks. I'd rather talk about anything else. Or sleep, if you're sated. Well, maybe for now. It seems I've hit a bit of a sore spot. Hardwood isn't a comfortable surface to sleep on. It takes a while for Fern to drift off. The next morning, Eska vanished from the shared pew. Huh? Where's my host? He finds Eska back downstairs feeding a thin soup to Sienna. I thought she's unconscious. What, she finally opened her eyes? Look at you taking care of her. What a good big brother. She's my sister. What am I gonna do? Let her starve? Yes, she's fine. You don't need to worry. Someone's clearly an only child. Well, you got me there. Still, this isn't necessary. Not that you're gonna take my word for it. Moving on. First order of business, I need Altalite. Haha, hence the title of the game. Altalite. What? Really? Yes, it's a component in the magic I do. It's mined around here, correct? The apothecaries in the area, from what I could find, are all closed down. Source some Altalite for me. I'm sure a local has a better chance of succeeding than I do. You're talking about the clear crystal stuff, right? Yes, that's correct. How much are you after? Fern pulls out a jar from his bag. However much will fit in here. It more depends on how much it costs. I want as much as I can afford. You're in luck. I know the place it's sourced from. Hand me your budget for it. Fern does as he asks, the money along with the jar. Eska slips it into his pocket and gestures for Fern to follow. The walk from the church is a quiet one. It's so grim since I last came here. You've been here before? I don't remember seeing you around. Well, this is my first visit coming across you as well. I make a trip at least once a year. It's surprising how quickly everything's gone downhill. So many shops closed now. It's been rough. Lots of people sick. Sienna's one of them. Well, it's not much better elsewhere. Old world's kinda like this. Being so remote might be a blessing. It was weird to see a traveler here. You stuck out so much. Too happy. Definitely someone who can use magic to solve their problems. It's not that straightforward. It's a lot of work. Actually, using magic puts a person at a greater risk of contracting magic rot. So, you're an idiot? I prefer the term lucky. As long as you know what you're doing, you can avoid most of the downsides. Sounds nice. Meanwhile, us regular people are suffering. You do better to learn magic instead of complaining, you know. If you think it can solve all of your problems, I'd love it if magic could solve my supply woes. It can't even do that. Well, aren't you lucky I'm around? That way you can have your non-magic problems solved for you. You do better getting to know the people of the town instead of complaining too. They pass through the entirety of the residential and commercial districts and into the industrial section, far away from the main road. Down through the cobbled streets, crossing the river onto the other side of the valley. The sound of mining equipment grows louder and louder as they approach. They reach a mine embedded into the other side of the valley. A tunnel leads them through and into a half-open air space with tall walls. Eska waltzes in, waving at people as he goes, Fern scurrying in behind him. Eska stops at a large storage building guarded by two men sitting bored beside the entrance. Sorry, that gotta up the music volume for a bit because it's too soft. The music, like pretty much the music is the only one of the only thing active thing going around while I look at this story game. One of them, a tall man with bushy eyebrows, untips the chair that he was leaning against and stands up to greet them. Hi, what can I... Eska, is that you? I haven't seen you in ages. Have you figured out treatment yet? Slowly, yeah. Treatment? I'll talk about it later. Good, something must be going right if you're showing your face back here. I'm not here for work, sorry, I need into the storage room. The atmosphere quickly changes as the focus shifts to Fern. Oh, and who's the friend? No one special, just someone I owe a favor. I need in to get some Altalite. He holds up Fern's jar, about this much. Do you think anyone will notice? I don't know. Eska slips the small pouch of coins over and into the man's hands. The other man, still resting in his chair, perks up after seeing the exchange. Just a crystal, right? Should be fine, just don't take too long. Without another word, Eska dips into the building, leaving Fern to stand outside next to the two men. He tries not to make too much eye contact, their gaze doesn't leave him. Eska returns a moment later, jar too full for the lid to close. This good enough? Fern inspects the crystals, picking up some of the larger chunks from the top of the jar, holding them up to the morning sun. Not bad at all. This'll do just fine, thank you. They leave the site, Eska waving to the two men on the way out. The few coins remaining in Eska's palm jingle as they slip into his pocket. I heard that. What, was that jar not worth your budget? You'd have gotten a quarter of that at the apothecary, tops. I guess a finder's fee is in order, I'll let you keep it. Damn right you will. Me sticking my neck out for you. Fern takes a closer look at the jar's overflowing contents. In it, pierces of white semi-translucent crystal, sizes varying from palm-sized chunks to grains that could be mistaken for sugar. I'm impressed. This is pretty nice stuff considering how little it's been refined. Very few impurities. I don't know if I'd get this level of quality at the apothecary. I figure you'd want the stuff we ship off to the Mage Guild branch around here. Fern fails at suppressing a giggle. Oh, so we're stealing from the guild? Even better. So you don't like the guild or something? Do you? I feel like you'd have more of a reason to be unhappy with them than I do. Look at the state of everything. It's now even interfering with my work. I've never talked with a mage before. For all I know, you're all guild fanatics. Alright, maybe now's a good time to mention I'm not actually part of the guild. What's that supposed to mean? I thought all magic users were. Well, I guess you could call me an independent contractor. So you're an outlaw. I'm not dumb. I know you all need a license to do anything right now. I didn't think you'd be familiar with the guild's code of conduct. The guy who owns the church mentioned it to us when he started looking into becoming a healer. The guild's not the biggest fans of my work, let's put it that way. Why, you doing something questionable with all the stuff we're gathering? Like putting more people into a coma, for example. Well, clearly they have a problem with it. Not that you need to get bogged down in the specifics. You're helping me either way, right? You're lucky the guild hasn't sent help this way. I'd sell you out in a heartbeat if it was worth the effort. Oh, am I not growing on you? Like mages rot. Tell you what, help me cross everything off my shopping list, and maybe I'll elaborate if you're interested. I don't need any more trouble in my life. Thank you very much. Oh well, the offer is there if you change your mind. They make their way back down into the town. So what's the next item on your little shopping list? I need panberries, native to the region, right? Any idea where I can get a ton of those? Preferably cheap. What kind of list is this? This stuff's easy. Next you're gonna tell me you need help finding water. What's that got to do with your magic stuff? Don't you guys just do magic chants over the top of the crystals? We've been over this. I don't do healing magic, and you can't learn? If you gave me several months of research minimum, assuming I had the drive to do it, I could become motivated with enough financial incentive. But I'm guessing you can't afford that. It's not about me. A lot of people pay to have another healer around. When's the church owner coming back? Surely he can take care of things. Not for a while. Indefinitely too late. I see. At least now it makes sense why you don't have any contacts. I just thought you were being an a-hole about it. You really don't talk to any other mages? Do I get cool points with you if I list off all the rules I've broken? I figured the least you could do is explain why you're useless. How bad is it? Well, if you must know, the guild breakup was messy. They didn't have an issue with my work before the outbreak, but afterwards, it's a different story. It's not an easy thing being asked to give up your life's work. Oh, so real serious, huh? Was it full-on excommunication? Did you go into hiding? About that, I might still technically be on the run. Might still be? Hard to judge when you do a good job of avoiding them. So unfortunately, I don't know if they found it in their hearts to get over themselves. It pays to keep moving, I guess. I would like to settle down permanently though. Moving every 6 months or so is a real hassle. Great, so not only am I dealing with an outlaw, but a wanted one too. Says the kidnapper and thief, don't act so high and mighty. That's petty stuff compared to what you're getting up to. I'm starting to wonder if helping you out is the right decision. Maybe I should point you in the direction of the nearest market and go back home. Are you not enjoying showing me around? I'll apologize if that means I can keep my helpful tour guide. You know, despite what the guild will make it seem, magic isn't a talent only those born with it can use. They don't have the monopoly they act like they have. You could pick it up with the correct motivation. You're delusional if you think I can pick up healing magic no problem right now. It's not even about the effort required, access to resources, the luxury of time, and more importantly, I'm not doing any novice magic around my sister. Still, let's just get through the stupid list, okay? I wanna go home, if you insist. So where's the secret berry stash? Surely you can use those coins in your pocket to bribe whoever's in charge. No need, they're wild here. Yes, I know that much, but where are the best ones? You're about a month too late for the best ones. I always come this time of the year. Then congrats on always being a month out of season. Most are too ripe to have any kind of firmness to them. Once they go dark, the flavor gets kind of weird. I'm not eating them, I need them dark. Really? Well, that changes things. He sighs. Follow me, I think I have an idea where to look. They exit the town and head out into the surrounding hills that slope up and out of the ravine. It's a hike, but before long they're surrounded by stretches of green meadow. You'd want the ones that have got the most sun, right? That's what makes them dark. Isn't a bigger factor how close it is to a source of Altalite? Yeah, but it's gotta be undisturbed. The further away from where we're mining, the better. Eventually, they arrive at an area covered in panberry bushes. Fern's eyes light up. Ah, perfect. This is the color I was after. Eska starts picking from the branches, inspecting each berry. Isn't it just the fruit you use? The roots are pretty dark too, you know. They are. We had to uproot a ton when we expanded operations about 6 months ago, so I got familiar with it. I'm pretty sure the roots are used in dyeing clothes too. Eska grabs one of the bush's long branches and inspects the berries attached. The roots are about this dark for sure, maybe even darker. Would they be usable? Well, we'd have to kill the plant, but I don't mind giving it a go. These things grow back like nobody's business, trust me. They can be kinda tough to get out by hand though. Fern digs into his back pocket, pulling out Eska's knife. Good thing I have this with me. Can I have that back, by the way? It's my only one. As long as you lug all this plant matter back with us. You mentioned a market earlier. Is that the best place to get something to eat? When is it open? There's one that runs late across town. Great, what are we eating? I barely have enough to cover me and my sister. Didn't you say you were gonna feed yourself? You can go to get something alone. I don't want to be around food I can't afford. What do you take me for? Some kind of monster? I'm not answering that. Well, was I going to share? I was going to share. You've been gracious enough with me showing me around. I'll try and do something to return the hospitality. Oh well, in that case I have some recommendations. That's more like it. They make their way down into the town to find the market Eska had mentioned. It's a small collection of stalls, the same gloomy atmosphere as the rest of the town permeating throughout. Eska doesn't seem concerned with the state of things and is already listing off places to visit. There's a produce stall around here that's really good. I know where the best deals are, so don't go wandering off on your own. If they don't recognize your face, they'll charge at least double. He drags Fern by the sleeve, who barely gets a chance to look at any one stall in particular. They stop in front of a vendor selling a range of baked goods. Here, the best bread in town. Buy something from here. Eska, you little charmer, I haven't seen you in a while. It has been a while. How's the arm? It's been so-so. You know how it is. I hope your sister's faring a little better than it's been with me. She's doing okay, still walking, so I'm happy. And you? About the same as before. Who's the friend, or are you just dragging in new customers for me? Just a visitor from out of town. Eska's been showing me around all day. He's doing a great job of being my little tour guide. We're just sorting out dinner now. He's paying. I'll take his recommendation for food too, so I'll get whatever is your most popular item, please. That'll be just the standard loaf. I appreciate it. Let me throw in another small one for your sister Eska. Oh, thanks. Make sure to come around a little more if you're able. We miss seeing you about. I'll see what I can do. As Fern takes the wrapped loaves from the lady, he can't help but notice the slight wince. In the moment he's handed the bag, Fern gets a closer look at the lady's arm. Fern had seen it many times before. The discoloration associated with magic rot was entirely up her arm, starting at her fingers and going all the way past her sleeve. Take care. You too. It's not contagious through touch before you say anything. I know that. They have visited several other stalls, picking up a couple of items before heading back. That was more than I intended to spend. They returned back with a large range of local fruits, vegetables, and even a hunk of cheese. The last few rays of sunlight hang in the sky as they make their way back up the hill the church is perched on. Eska rushes down into the basement to once again check on his sister, who remains in the same state she was left in. He comes back up moments later, satisfied that she's okay. Eska heads into the small back room, Fern behind him, offloading the items they brought onto a rickety table. He pulls out a clay pot and a hunk of wood and begins stoking a fire under a small stone stove, balancing the pot on top. We'll shove all the stuff into the pot and let it boil down. I have some leftovers that can go into, and we can have that with the bread and cheese. Sound good to you? So, stew? What's that look for? I was expecting something a little fancier. If I'm honest, I was better fed at the inn. What do you want from me? If you don't like it, you're free to cook something for yourself. Sienna normally handles the food. I could tell. Don't look so down. She'll be awake tomorrow. Don't worry. The pot takes a while to simmer, but eventually it's ready. Despite his protests, Fern is won over by the aroma of the stew. He's handed a bowl and begins dipping his bread in to take a bite. Eska brings the pot onto the floor and they take a seat beside it. So about that woman at the market, that was quite the patch she had, huh? People work with Mage's rot. It's not a rare thing here. Then what's stopping you? Eska tenses at such a blunt statement. It's not just your sister, is it? So what if it's not? I'm asking you to fix her and not me. Explains that exchange you had at the mine too, now that I think about it. You can't work around Altalite if you catch it, and there isn't much other work out there right now. Happy? Where do you have it? A couple of patches on my back. Wow, really? I'm surprised you could carry me all the way here if that's the case. Impressive swing you had, knocking me out though. I bet that aggravated things a little. Would have been worth it if you could have done something about it. Take your shirt off. Excuse me? Just because I'm not a healer doesn't mean I can't do something for you. Let me take a look. Eska does as Fern says, removing both layers. On his skin were inky patches spreading out from his shoulder and lower back, similar in color to the woman's arm from earlier. It doesn't look too far along, not bad. It hasn't progressed to the spine at all, so I should probably consider myself lucky. You don't seem overly concerned with having contracted it. Around here, if you get unlucky with an injury, you end up in my position. I'm not unique. My sister is further along. Anyways, I'll worry about myself later. He redresses himself. How much do you know about Altalite? It's a magic conductor, right? Ever since the outbreak, our town's economy has warped around it. Easy work since mages need so much. There's also all the usual Altalite warnings. Keep it away from magic unless you know what you're doing. I'm sure you've heard that a whole bunch. It'd be the first thing they tell you at the guild, but lucky for you, I know what I'm doing. Well, I guess it depends on who you ask, but I can certainly make things happen. Fern reaches into his bag and pulls out a mortar and pestle and a couple of jars. One empty, the other one filled with a dark liquid. Taking a thin brush, he draws an intricate pattern onto two chunks of crystal, the lines differing only in their direction. Eska watches carefully. If you're careful, and I do mean careful, you can control the flow of magical energy. Fern holds the ends of both crystals, steadying their position on the stone floor in front of him. The glow from underneath his clothes appears again. The crystal in contact with his right hand explodes, sending chunks in all directions. Eska jumps back at the sudden noise. Can you explain what's going on with the glowing already? I don't need a lesson in magic basics. I want to know what's letting you do that. Weren't you paying attention? I just told you. It's simple energy control, that's it. Don't bullshit me. I've seen magic users work before, and they couldn't increase their strength or explode stuff. I'll take that as a compliment. Magic isn't a field that begins and ends with astrology and healing. Clearly. Well, I guess if you're interested. Fern removes his coat and rolls up his sleeves, revealing a tapestry of markings running the entire length of his arm. Tattoos? Kinda, they're a little less permanent, just applied with a brush. The body contains a certain amount of magical energy, so I figured learning to better control that energy could be useful. I want to be able to experiment at a certain point. You begin to run out of canvas space, so I think temporary is the way to go. So that's what those marks on your hands are. I didn't know it flows in people too. News to me. How would a magical disease affect you if it didn't? God, this is why I hate the guild. It doesn't sustain itself by eating your flesh. You and your sister would be dead much faster if that was the case. Anyways, point being, if there's a flow, it can be controlled. If you don't mind volunteering as a second canvas for me, I can figure out something that contains the disease to the affected areas. It's not a permanent solution, but I think I could probably slow the spread. Same for your sister, but I'd rather judge what I can do for her when she's awake. Eska's eyes widen the more Fern speaks. Volunteer, as in, I won't charge, but don't go hitting me over the head again if it doesn't work. I've always wanted to expand what I do, but finding willing participants is tricky. Probably doesn't help with the amount I keep to myself, but still, I'd appreciate if you're willing to listen to me ramble on. You're welcome. I've never had a mage give me the time of day. I suppose I should get to preparing more of my medium. That's what we spent the day gathering. Yeah, that's not everything I use, but those were the two main things I was missing. He gathers up the chunks of the exploded crystals and dumps them into the mortar to begin crushing the pieces into smaller shards. As Eska looks closer, he notices the base of the pestle is also covered in markings, as is the bowl of the mortar and the lids of the fern jars. The lids of Fern's jars. Actually, now that I think about it, this is gonna be pretty hard. I haven't practiced on someone who can't control their own flow before. This is gonna take some work to figure out. And how difficult is that to learn? Fern laughs. That's like half a mage's curriculum right there. But I wouldn't worry about that. It's not an option for you. You writing me off or something? It's not called Mage's Rot because they caused it, you know. It's because it messes with magic users the most. If you try using magic when your body's infected, you transmit the infection as well. And if you circulate it through your body, well, you've done the rot's job for it. The first couple mages who tried that found out the hard way. So how do healers manage it? I wish I knew. Another reason you should study healing. Maybe it'll help all this tattoo stuff. I don't like how that's starting to sound like a good idea. You could have mentioned you were infected too. That would have saved me a lot of preaching. If you're not in a state to do it yourself, there goes my argument for you to self-study. Fern begins scribbling into his notebook. Eska watches a stern expression form on Fern's face as he works. You look way different when you get into it. Look at you taking this so seriously. Let me focus. Do you want to fix or not? I can pass my own energy through my markings, no problem, but safely onto someone with magic rot? The disease complicates things. When I was at the guild, people just activated everything themselves. And we're gonna save here and continue tomorrow. Because I'm getting tired and I've been reading for 51 minutes according to the recording. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow where I continue this game again. Right? Bye bye. I'm gonna take a break.